comfort you and calm you down and let you rest now. The woman in your life, she can rest so easily.
Hello everybody and welcome to Women's Spaces. My name is Elaine Holtz and I'm your host. And as always, I am very excited about the show today. I have with me a lovely woman by the name of Linda Loveland Reid. Can you believe that middle name, Loveland? I just love it. I just think it's just absolutely fabulous. Anyway, before we get into the show, I have a few commentaries that I like to make. And, you know, I try to do it at the beginning of the show to just let my viewers know some of the concerns that I have that are going on in the world today. And one of the concerns I have is about this whole idea of funding for the war. I'm going to flash a picture on the screen. This picture was taken in 1915, if you can imagine that. That's 99 years. And women were in front of the White House in Washington, D.C., demonstrating against war and also trying to get the vote for themselves. You know, it took us over 100 years to get the vote. In 1920, we finally got it, but I mean, the struggle was just amazing to me. And the question that I have, and I want my viewers to look at this picture, the question I have is they're calling for peace. And since then, we've had World War II, we've had World War I, World War II, we've had the Korean War, the Cambodian War, the Vietnam War, and now God knows how many wars we're involved in. And you know, the time has come where it has to stop. We have to start thinking about things as to why are we warring? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said in my last show, war to me is a very simple concept. You have mothers, children on the battlefield killing each other's children. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And then I start looking at this health care issue. You know, I hear the word socialism all the time. You know, I wish people would get that idea out of their head. This is not a socialist program. I think you should look it up in the dictionary and find what socialism really is. This is not a socialist program. This is a social program. Like your fire department, your police department, your education, all these are social programs. And as I believe, in my mind, it is the responsibility of our governing body. After all, why do we elect these people? I mean, why did we elect Obama? We elected him because we wanted him to get our troops out of Iraq. We wanted health care. We wanted certain considerations as a population. And I think that we have a right as women to demand that, because when you start thinking about it, really thinking about it, what we're doing is we are demanding the rights for our children, and now someone like myself, my grandchildren, want a better place to live and a better place to be. And you know, the whole idea of Women's Spaces is dedicated to ordinary women doing extraordinary things. And the reason that I have dedicated it to ordinary women doing extraordinary things is because I'm trying to inspire my viewers. If they have any ideas or any thoughts that they would like to put in motion when they see other women, what they're doing, when you see what Linda Loveland Reid has done. I mean, she has written a book over 500 pages and self-published. That's a real dedication, but she had a vision, and she took that vision all the way to today, where she's going to be on my show, as well as many, many book signings and all kinds of interesting things she's done. And so I think that, to me, is what is inspiring me to continue with the show, because my vision is that there's one woman out there that her mind has changed, and she's going to get up and say no more and start working for the children and start working for peace. Well, that's kind of a long commentary, but you know, I like every once in a while to get on my soapbox, so to speak, and maybe get people to start thinking, because that's what we have to do. We have to think more and more. There's too many people thinking for us. You know, that whole idea of socialism, that's someone putting ideas in our mind that are incorrect. And we need to start thinking for ourselves so we can correct some of the thoughts that are being put upon us through our media, etc. Anyway, that's enough of that, and without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, Linda Loveland Reid. Welcome to Women's Spaces.
Thank you very much. I'm enjoying being here.
Well, you know, Linda, the way I generally try to start the show out is I like my guests to just let my viewers know a little bit about you. Anything that you feel is important. I know that you've lived in this area for a long time. I know you're a mother. I know you're a grandmother. Anything that you feel important.
Well, it is important to me that I am a mother and I have wonderful children, and they're all grown, and I have many wonderful grandchildren. I lived in Hillsburg for many, many years, and I was there during the prune picking era and had a great time doing that. And so this whole area to me is home, and I'm just thrilled to be here today to be talking to you. Some of the things that I have been involved with is I paint, and I started painting many years ago, and I painted watercolors. Now I'm painting in oils, and I had a show in Sebastopol, which was great fun. And I direct theater. I have directed theater for about 28 years now in the area. And in 2008, I did Gin Game and at Novato Theater Company, and I worked at the new 6th Street Theater, which were the 6th Street Playhouse, which we are very proud of, which is our super wonderful new theater here in our community, and I hope everybody will go to it. And I worked there for a while last year.
Can you repeat the name of that theater again?
6th Street Playhouse. And it is down in Railroad Square, and everyone should go, and they would be very proud to know that there is such a wonderful new theater in our community.
Well, you know, Linda, it's really interesting. I don't know where you get all the time to do all these wonderful things that you're doing, but I also understand that you are the president of the Redwood Writers Club here in Sonoma County. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm just really pleased to be working with Redwood Writers. When I've been writing my book for 5 years, and I looked out and about and away from myself, and I said, how can I find out what it's like to be in this industry, to be a writer? And I found the Redwood Writers, and they are over 100 years old, started by the likes of Jack London. And that we have 120 local people who are members who are either authors or aspiring authors. And people are writing everything from fiction to nonfiction to poetry. It's a wonderful atmosphere to be in if you would like to be a writer.
Now, I understand that you actually won first place in a 2008 writing contest. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and what was the short story about that you won?
I was very excited about that, and I had written a short story, and I have submitted my stories to many contests. That's what writers do, especially when you're a new writer and you're trying to test your abilities and so on. And so I sent in my short story, and it was about a woman named Carlotta, and her father had died, and his wife, person who he'd lived with, who she'd never met, was coming to meet her for the first time and bring the ashes. And so the story was about their meeting each other and how she was affected by all of that. And in the end, she places the ashes next to the woman as she drives away. So she returns the ashes to the woman.